Hello, learners. I'm back with the English quiz. The pattern is same, questions, options, and the grammar rules. Today, the quiz focuses on parts of speech. Hope you must be familiar with parts of speech. For example, noun, pronoun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, interjection. And together they make up like 8 parts of speech, total 8 parts of speech. Old English had only 8 parts of speech, however, the modern English accepts articles as the ninth one. So, this is what it is. The quiz is going to be very informative and fun. So, let's get started with the first question. The committee blank divided in their opinion. Is, are, were. Is a singular verb, are a plural verb, were is also plural but it's in past form. The other two options are present forms of the verb. The given sentence is in present tense, so past verb gets deleted. The key word is the committee. The committee is a collective noun. And there's a rule for collective nouns that they can act both singular as well as plural. They act singular when all the committee members together act as one single group, one unit, which means all the members of the committee have one single opinion. Their opinions are same. On the other hand, the committee acts as plural subject when each member has some different views. Each of them has different opinions, something different to offer to the table. So, different views add up as plural subject. Therefore, with this logic, the committee acts as plural subject. The committee are divided in their opinion. The committee blank meeting today is our war meeting today. All the committee members are meeting together at one place as one single group, one unit. That means single opinion, singular subject. The committee is meeting today. She avoided blank to him to speak, speaking, speak. To speak is an infinitive. Now, what's an infinitive? An infinitive has a structure that is to plus the base verb. Now, what's the base verb? Suppose the verb do. This is the base verb. It gets divided into verb 1 plus s or es, present forms of the verb 2, past form of the verb 3, past participle form of the verb, and the last one, ing form of the verb. Do is the base verb. It becomes do, does, did, done, and doing. So these are different forms of the verb. So base verb is clear. I'd give you some examples. The first example is I am reading. It's an action. I am reading. Reading is an action, is a verb. It's the ing form of the verb. So an action is going on. It's the main verb of the sentence. The second sentence is I like to read. Now, here we have like, which is the main verb. The action, you're liking something. What? You like something, that is to read. To read acts as noun, the object of the sentence, which is called an infinitive. The idea is that it doesn't act as a verb, it acts as a noun, object of the sentence. So, this is what an infinitive is. 2 plus the base verb, which acts as noun. infinitive. The second option is speaking. Speaking is a gerund. Now, what's a gerund? Gerund is a verb, base verb, plus the ing. And it's not a basic ing form of the verb. It acts as the noun. Base verb plus ing acts as noun. For example, I am cooking. Here an action going on. The main verb is cooking, ing form of the verb, action. But if I say, I like cooking, so like is already the main verb. You're liking something, verb 1. And cooking is a gerund. Cook plus ing that acts as noun. Name of an action. It's actually name of an action, not a verb. So this is what a gerund is. Ing form of the verb that functions as noun. The last one is just the base verb, speak. So let's find out the correct answer. Here the keyword is avoided. So the rule is verbs like avoid, enjoy, finish, suggest, mind, consider, all of these always follow a gerund. A gerund that acts as noun, ing form of the verb. She avoided speaking to him. She decided blank to him. The options are same. To speak is an infinitive. Speaking is a gerund. Speak is the base verb. Here the keyword is decided and there's a rule. Words like decide, plan, hope, want, refuse, promise, agree, all these kind of words follow the infinitive. To plus the base verb. So she decided to speak to him. One more thing I'd like you to notice that avoided and decided are already the main verbs. So a sentence cannot have another main verb directly. So they take the term like an infinitive or a gerund. Next, neither of the boys forgot blank their homework. His, their, his, or their. His, pronoun for a single boy, boy, singular. Their is pronoun for boys, that is plural. Option C gets deleted because you cannot have both the pronouns as the answer. Let's find out the answer. Here we have boys, that is a plural subject. Does that mean there is the correct answer? No, we have neither of the as well. So the rule is neither, either, or each. Neither, either, each must follow a singular verb or a singular pronoun. The pronoun that resonates with the single subject. So, according to the rule, neither of the boys becomes singular subject. Therefore, neither of the boys forgot his homework. There would be some people who would say forgot their homework, but that's informal English. Neither, either, each follows singular verb and singular pronoun. All you have to do is remember the rules. Next. She speaks English very blank, fluent, fluently, fluency. Fluent is an adjective that describes a noun or a pronoun, tells about a noun or a pronoun. Fluently is an adverb that modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Fluency is a noun, abstract noun. Abstract nouns name a quality. Qualities like emotions, feelings, etc. So here we have the keyword is speaks. speaks is a verb. Adverb modifies a verb. So she speaks English very fluently. How does she speak English? Very fluently. Now let's move to the next question. She's afraid blank dogs. From, with, of. Use from when we talk about some kind of source or its cause. Use with when we talk about togetherness or some tools like he cut the apple with a knife. Of is a preposition here, which is a fixed preposition. And these fixed prepositions go directly with an adjective or an adverb. There isn't any strict rules to use these. The keyword is afraid. And now I'm going to tell you about a term that is called collocations. Collocations basically talks about fixed preposition. For example, afraid. Afraid is an adjective. It takes off. Afraid of. Interested in. Good at. Good in. Married to. All these adjectives take the fixed preposition. Nothing changes in this structure. And most importantly, there's no strict rule for this. You have to remember this. You have to remember these fixed prepositions. So, according to this structure, she's afraid of dogs. She is angry, blank me, blank being late, with, for, at, for, with, about. Now, let's find out the answer. Wait, the space is required. Okay. She is angry with a person. She's angry with a person for being late, for a reason. With for person for reason. She is angry at a person. At a person is acceptable in American English, not universally, but in American English. Or she is angry with a person about a situation, about a situation or an event. About is for situations and events. Now let's find out the answer. Angry at a person is acceptable in American English. So we would go with the standard answer. The standard one is she is angry with me, person, for being late. Reason. At for American English. Now let's move to the next question. My opinion is different blank yours. From, than, to. And to be honest, all of these are correct. How? I'm going to tell you. From is the safest and most standard to use. My opinion is different from yours. Than is acceptable in American English. To is acceptable in British English. And they use it informally. Informal English. Moreover, why from is the safest and most standard to use in English, like my opinion is different from yours, because from naturally shows difference, distinction. From naturally shows difference, distinction, like separation. For example, X is different from Y. X is different from Y. Different follows from. So it naturally shifts to separation or distinction difference. Let's come back to the question. My opinion is X, yours Y. X is different from Y. My opinion is different from yours. Safest and most standard. Now here we have than. Let's talk about than a little bit. Than is acceptable in American English. We all know that. But sometimes all of us use than. How? Let's see an example. The results were different. The results were different than we expected. Here we have than followed by we expected, subject plus a verb. And these two make up a clause. Subject plus verb. In the question, we only have yours, which is a pronoun. So, in this case, when we have a subject plus a verb, we take done. And it's for English all over the world. But in the question, we have a pronoun. I hope you know the difference. You'd remember these. Should I give you one more example? Let's do that. Um, I'd give you one more example. His behavior, his behavior is different from mine. His behavior is different from mine. Mine, a pronoun. Now, if I say his behavior is different, his behavior is different than I expected. I expected. I is the subject, expected is the verb, make up a clause. And with this, we are done. These are the differences. So we have learned here a notion of rules above, and I think that is really cool. Cool, as in the sense like many of you might learn something that might help you in your exams, or maybe if you wish to speak English with little less of grammar mistakes. So that's cool, right? Well, I prefer no mistakes while speaking English, but we can't help it, right? It's our second language. So I'd suggest keep learning, not just English, it could be anything, whatever your heart desires singing, sketching, painting, whatever. And don't forget to comment down your issues with the quiz. Do like, share, and subscribe. I'll definitely come back with another quiz. Till then, take care and bye.